the Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Ministers, Honourable Assistant Ministers, and Honourable Members of this august House, ladies and gentlemen. Honourable Speaker, before I continue with my statement this morning, may I take this time to join you to welcoming and congratulating the newly appointed members of the Ministry, the new Minister for Agriculture, the Honourable Tunambuna, the Honourable Minister for Information, the Honourable Tambuya, and the new Assistant Minister for Agriculture, the Honourable Kurundani. And I would like to join you to wish them well in the new role that they have been bestowed with today. The Honourable Speaker, I rise today in this Honourable House to speak on a matter that rests not only in the realm of foreign affairs and defence policy, but in the very heart of our national story. The subject of peacekeeping is often presented as a military duty, but it is in truth a moral and civic one. It compels us to reflect not just on our foreign deployments, but on the principles by which we live, the burdens we place on our citizens, and the face we choose to show the world. Honourable Speaker, I speak on this matter not merely as a minister, but as someone who has walked the long and quiet road of peacekeeping deployment. I have served in peacekeeping operations along with the Honourable Prime Minister and members of this august House from across the aisle. We as peacekeepers stood under the harsh suns in unfamiliar lands, surrounded by unfamiliar languages, carrying the quiet expectations of a nation that trusted us to act with restraint, courage, and dignity. The uniform that we wore was not only a symbol of Fiji's commitment to international peace, it was a visible expression of who we are as a people. To serve as peacekeeper is to carry our duties under constant tension. You are armed but not aggressive. You are trained for combat but restrained by mandate. You are expected to be visible and composed even in the face of provocation. You operate far from home, often without knowing when you will return, and with the ever-present knowledge that peace is fragile and the line between calm and conflict is thin. For those who serve, the toll is not merely professional, Honourable Speaker. It is deeply personal also. Peacekeeping changes you. It changes your rhythm of life. It changes your view of the world. It also changes your family. Marriages are stretched by silence. Children grow in your absence. Grief is sometimes carried alone. Joy is postponed until you return. And sometimes, many do not return at all. Today, I pay tribute to the Fijian peacekeepers who lost their lives in the service of global peace. Their names may not appear in history books, but their sacrifice is written into the moral architecture of this nation. They died not for conquest, but for calm, not to impose force, but to uphold order. They stood between warring parties and held the line, often unacknowledged, often unnoticed, but always honourable. Honourable Speaker, since 1978, more than 50,000 Fijians have served in peacekeeping operations. We have maintained a continuous presence in some of the world's most volatile regions. From the frozen hills of Mount Hermon in the Golan Heights to the arid plains of Darfur, from the post-conflict streets of Timor-Leste to the war-torn cities of Iraq. Fijian soldiers have helped secure ceasefires, guard humanitarian corridors, and provide stability where the rule of law has collapsed. Our contribution is not defined by numbers. It is defined by presence. When the world calls, Fiji answers. When others withdraw, we often remain. Our peacekeepers are trusted, not because of our geopolitical influence, but because of our moral consistency and our institutional discipline. There is something about the Fijian way, Honourable Speaker, the humility, the composure, the respect, that makes our soldiers particularly effective in complex and delicate environments. One of the longest-standing examples of this is our presence in the Sinai Peninsula under the multinational force and observers. This mission traces its origin to the Camp David Accord of 1978, a moment in history when Egypt and Israel chose peace to end decades of war. The accord required an independent monitoring mission to oversee the peace, but when the United Nations Security Council failed to reach consensus on a mandate, an alternative force was formed. Honourable Speaker, Fiji stepped forward. And we have remained in Sinai ever since. For more than 4 decades, we have contributed to one of the most geopolitically sensitive missions in the world. Our troops have guarded the peace between 2 former adversaries in a region where instability is never far from the surface. They have worked alongside soldiers from other nations, often with limited resources, under constant surveillance, and in the harshest of environments. But the question must now be asked, should we still be there? And more broadly, should we continue our peace commitments in their current form? Honourable Speaker, the world we live in today is not the world of 1978. Conflict has changed. These operations have evolved. The challenges faced by peacekeepers are no longer limited to conventional threats. They now include cyber threats, drones, non-state militias, and highly politicized mandates. Missions have become more complex, less defined, and often less supported. It is in this evolving context that Fiji must now ask difficult questions. Should we continue to say yes to every request? Should we maintain the same size and scales of our deployment? Should we re-evaluate which missions align with our strategic priorities, our national interests, and the well-being of our people? We must also consider whether we have done enough to support our peacekeepers. Are they sufficiently trained for the new operational landscape? Are they well equipped, properly briefed, and adequately cared for during and after their missions? Have we as a nation honored their service, not just in words, but in the infrastructure of support? These are not rhetorical questions, Honourable Speaker. They are national questions, they're national issues. They go to the heart of what it means to be a responsible contributor to global peace. Honourable Speaker, this is the reason why the government has begun to work on a national peacekeeping strategy. This will not be a generic policy document. It will be a serious, comprehensive, and forward-looking framework and redefines the purpose, scope, and nature of Fiji's peacekeeping role. The strategy will do several things. It will establish clear criteria for the selection of missions. It will articulate what success looks like, not just in military terms, but in moral and diplomatic terms. It will ensure that training is standardized and that all personnel are equipped with the tools and the knowledge they need before deployment. It will also include provisions for post-service care, family support, and also reintegration. It will ask fundamental questions. When does peacekeeping serve our interests and our values? When does it impose more burden than benefit? Where can we lead with effect? And where might we need to pause and rethink? These are not signs of retreat. They are marks of our maturity. The Honourable Speaker, Fiji has not only contributed to global missions, they have also played a leadership role in our region through RAMSI, the Regional Assistance Mission to the Solomon Islands. Fiji helped build the security and institutional frameworks of a sister Pacific state. We did so with respect, with cultural awareness, and with the belief that Pacific solutions must be crafted by Pacific hands. RAMSI stands as a statement to what is possible when nations commit to the dignity of others. It remains a model of how peacekeeping and peacebuilding can be fused together. It reminds us that our region is not immune to instability. Our peacekeeping strategy must also reflect this reality. Honourable Speaker, there will always be those who say that Fiji is too small to matter. But our peacekeepers have proven otherwise. Our soldiers have been the first to arrive and the last to leave in many cases. They have upheld international law, not because they had to, but because they believed in it. They have shown that moral leadership is not the preserve of the powerful, it is the calling of the principled. Let us not mistake consistency for complacency. Our legacy is worth defending, but it's also worth refining. We must adapt our contributions to match the world as it is, not as it was. That is the purpose of the peacekeeping strategy. It will not lessen our reputation. It will strengthen. It will not reduce our presence. It will enhance our purpose. Honourable Speaker, peacekeeping is never easy. It is often thankless. It is marked more by restraint than recognition. But it remains one of the last meaningful instruments through which the world affirms its belief in collective action, in law over force, in hope over despair. The government remains fully committed to supporting our peacekeepers, those currently deployed, those preparing to go, and those who have returned. We will do more than issue medals, Honourable Speaker. We will offer real support. We will do more than praise their discipline. We will match it with policy, and we will do more than reflect on their past. We will plan for their future. Let this House today, Honourable Speaker, speak with one voice. Let us not speak as parties in contest, but as a nation in reflection. Let us affirm not only the worth of our past contributions, but the wisdom to guide what's going to come next. And may the road ahead be clearer than the one we have traveled so far. And may our decisions be as steady as those who serve. May our legacy endure not only because we served, but because we thought, listened, and that we chose wisely. Honourable Speaker, and may God bless our peacekeepers, and may God bless this Parliament, and God bless Fiji.